Hey guys, it is Sophia the Diabetic Vlogger, and today I'm reviewing another Iron Maiden song for you guys. This song has become my favorite probably about 2 months ago, and it is a really long song, but it is an awesome song. If you guys have not heard it, I encourage you guys to check it out. This is the last song on Iron Maiden's last album, The Book of Souls, which came out in September of 2015. Sorry. Anyway, so this song is off the Iron Maiden's last album, The Book of Souls, which came out in September of 2015. This is the last song on the album. It is also super long. It is 18 minutes and 11 seconds long, but it is beautiful and worth every second of your time. So I highly encourage you guys to go listen to it and check it out and come back and watch this video and leave your comments down below. This is a really beautiful song, and there's a little bit part from Bruce's booklet. This is Button Dude that I'm going to read that talks about this song to give you kind of an idea of what this song is about. This song was about a British airplane in the 1930s called the R101. But I'm going to read you what gave him the idea for it. He said, I sat at home with a very modest electric piano, and I had won a charity raffle and started doodling, coming up with some small sequences and an atmospheric intro. The plan was to write a Great War era warfare epic, and the piano intro was the opener, Death or Glory. Although all in a much shorter span. I have at home a few artifacts that I purchased at an auction of an airship of memorabilia. At the auction, anything German was going for ridiculous prices. Crockery, bits of aluminum from crashed zeppelins, all going for crazy money. What interested me was the British aviation heritage. Two items in particular I found fascinating. One was a pocket watch of one of the few survivors of the R101, the British airship that tragically crashed on its maiden voyage, killing most of those on board, and the other was a tanker from the R101, possibly a promotional item. It was a leather embossed case with a pewter mug inside, faced in brown leather that could be seen on the airship itself, complete with its registration GFAAW, and around the rim of the pewter inscribed "Welcome aboard" from the airship crew. Late one night after coming in from the pub, I sat playing the intro over and over on my bookshelf. I had several weird airship volumes. One of them, To Ride the Storm, is a classic analysis of the R01 accident. I closed my eyes instead of seeing a row of World War aircraft at dawn with mist hanging in the trees and frost turning to dew on airframes. I saw the great silver cigar hanging in the sky. I could handle the pewter tanker and the watch. They were a tangible link back to the fateful day of the crash. They drove me to the piano, a concert grand this time. In the studio, too long after the rest of the band had gone home, Empire of the Clouds grew into the story of the R01, the greatest flying machine the world had ever seen, truly so big that the entire Titanic could have fit inside it. It was a story of human error, hubris, compassion, heroism, and sheer bad luck. The rest of the album was no less ambitious, and unless the song was obviously brief, we saw no reason to compromise on the grounds that the people had short attention spans. Iron Maiden fans are quite used to engaging their brains. Isn't that the case? So let me read you guys lyrics. This is a beautiful song. This is Empire of the Clouds off Iron Maiden's album, The Book of Souls. To ride the storm to an empire of the clouds. To ride the storm they climbed aboard their silver ghost. To ride the storm to a kingdom that will come. To ride the storm and damn the rest, oblivion. Royalty and dignitaries, brandy and cigars, grey lady giant of the skies. You hold them in your arms, the millionth chance they laugh to take down his majesty's craft. To India they say, magic carpet float away. In an October fateful day, mist is in the trees. Stone sweats with the dew, the morning sunrise, red before the blue, hanging at the mast, waiting for command. His mighty airship's the R101. She's the biggest vessel built by man. A giant of the skies for all you unbelievers, the Titanic fits inside. Drum rolled tight, her canvas skin slivered in the sun, never tested with the fury, with the beating yet to come. The fury yet to come. In the gathering gloom, the storm rising in the west, the coxswains stared into the plunging wave, their glass, we must go now. We must take our chances with fate. We must go now. For a politician, he can't be late. The airship crew awake for 30 hours at full stretch, but the ship is in the backbone, every sinew, every inch. She never flew at full speed, a trial never done. Her fragile outer cover, her Achilles would become, an Achilles yet to come, sailors of the sky. A hardened breed loyal to the king in an airship creed. The engines drum, the telegraph sounds, release the cords that bind us to the ground. And the coxswain, sir, she's heavy, she'll never make the flight, said the captain. Damn the cargo, we'll be on our way tonight. Groundlings cheered in wonder as she backed off from the mast, baptizing them her water from the ballast fore and aft. Now she slips into our path, fighting the wind as it rolls you. Okay. Fetching the diesels that push you along, watching the channel below you, lower and lower into the night. Lights are passing below you, northern France asleep in their beds. Storm is raging around you, 1,000,000 to 1 that he said, Reaper standing beside her. With its sky's butt cuts to the bone, panic to make a decision, experienced men asleep in their graves. Her cover is ripped and she's drowning. Rain is flooding into the hole, bleeding to death, and she's falling. Lifting gas is draining away. We're down, lads, came the cry. Bow plunging from the sky, 3,000 horses silent as the ship began to die. The flares to guide her path ignited at the last, the empire of the clouds, just ashes in the past, just ashes at the last. Here lie their dreams. As I stand in the sun on the ground where they built and the engines did run, to the moon and the stars now and we have done. On the dreamers may die, but the dreams live on. Dreams live on. Dreams live on. Now a shadow on a hill, the angel of the east, the empire of the clouds, may rest in peace. And in her country churchyard laid head to the mast, 48 souls who came to die in France. This is written by Bruce Dickinson. This is a beautiful, lovely song. It is so sad that this airplane, the R-101, died on its maiden voyage, killing most people. I was doing some research on it, and it was one of the biggest plane crashes at this point that killed a lot of people. It killed close to, I believe, 50 people. And it is very sad, but his words are so elegant. It's got this beautiful intro, and it definitely is worth the 18 minutes and 10 seconds. I have nothing against long songs. I love Iron Maiden because they make long songs. I used to think Rush was long, but Iron Maiden has nothing on Rush when it comes to their length. This album, there's only 2 songs that are, I think, under 10-minute range, which is crazy. And this is just an amazing album. You guys should check it out. This is one album I need to listen to more, and I plan on reviewing the whole album for you guys in the future. So let's go over some of the lyrics just a quick time. So to ride the storm in the empire of the clouds. So obviously this plane was going into battle or to a storm, and that's partially why it didn't come out. And it was supposed to be big enough to fit the Titanic in it. To ride the storm they climbed aboard their silver ghost, to ride the storm to a kingdom that will come. So they were supposed, riding this plane into, hopefully their new kingdom of winning the war. To ride the storm and damn the rest oblivion. Royalty and dignitaries, brandy and cigars, grey lady giants of the skies, you hold them in your arms. The millionth chance they laugh to take down His Majesty's craft. To India they say magic carpet floated away. An October fateful day, mist is in the trees. Stone sweats with the dew, the morning sunrise red before the blue, hanging at the mast, waiting her command, Her Majesty's airship, the R-101. She's the biggest vessel built by man. This is one of the biggest vessels built by man. This song is just so the imagery in it, the song is just amazing. It is just so beautiful. It's almost like, you know, he could write a book, and he obviously did. So this is just a beautiful song. It's very imagery. There's lots of images in it, and it's just wonderful. A Giant of the Skies, because it was one of the biggest ships of that time. For all of you unbelievers, the Titanic fits inside. So I guess people did not believe that the Titanic could fit inside, but it could. Drumroll tight, her canvas skin slivered in the sun, never tested with the fury, with the beating yet to come. So it's saying that I guess they never really tested it, because this was its maiden voyage, and so that's why it didn't, I guess, turn out so well, because it wasn't tested. The fury yet to come in the gathering gloom. The storm rising in the west, the coxswain stared, and to the purging weight their glass. We must go now. We must take our chance with fate. We must go now. So it's saying, you know, we have to take our chance and go into fate and see what happens. For a politician, he can't be late. The airship crew awake for 30. Hours at full stretch, but the ship is in the backbone, saying, you know, long stretches of being awake and working. Every sinew, every inch. She never flew at full speed, so I guess she never got to her max capacity. A trial never done. Her fragile outer cover, her Achilles would become an Achilles yet to come, sailors of the sky. So saying this is what made her come to an end. It was her heel, because it wasn't tested, and it didn't know what it could stand and what it could not stand. A hardened breed, loyal to the king and an airship creed, which is what he saw on those pieces of the plane at those auctions and what he had at his house. The engines drum, the telegraph sounds, release the cords that bind us to the ground. Said the coxswain, sir, she's heavy. She'll never make this flight. Said the captain, damn the cargo, we'll be on our way tonight. Groundings cheered in wonder as she backed off from the mast, baptizing them her water from the ballast fore and aft. Now she slips into our path, fighting the wind as it rolls you, feeling the diesels that push you along, watching the channel below you, lower and lower into the night. Lights are passing below you. Northern France asleep in their beds. Storm is raging round you, a million to one, that's what he said. Reaper standing beside her. With the sky cut to the bone, panic to make a decision. So just, you know, the heat of the moment, making a quick decision that doesn't turn out well. Experienced men asleep in their graves. Her cover is ripped and she's drowning. Rain is flooding into the hole, bleeding to death, and she's falling. And lifting gas is draining away. We're down, lads, came the cry. Bow plunging from the sky. 3,000 horses silent as the ship began to die. The flares to guide her path ignite at the last, so saying that the ship's getting ready to die. The empire of the clouds, just ashes in the past, just ashes at the last. Here lies their dreams. So all these people's dreams and ideas, they're dead now on the ground. As I stared in the sun on the ground where they built and the engines did run to the moon and the stars, now what we have done. Oh, the dreamers may die, but the dreams live on. So it's saying that even though the dreamers may die, the dreams live on. Dreams live on. Dreams live on. Now a shadow on a hill, the angel of the east, the empire of the clouds, may rest in peace. And a country churchyard laid head to the mast, 48 souls who came to die in France. So I'm guessing the ship came down in France, and that's where people died. I hope you guys like this video. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Please leave your comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. Goodbye.